This video is about getting into point consciousness. I realize that it's maybe something common for a lot of people, but it's also something that probably a lot of people haven't been exposed to. There's a lot of content on point consciousness in both the physical research world, so you can find it all sorts of stuff online, and there's also a lot of talk about it in the non-physical exploration world. So it's a pretty common phrase. Once you see it everywhere. And people have a lot of opinions about what it is and what it does and where it comes from, but I'm neither here nor there right now. Just want to talk about practically, how does one get into it? Because I imagine, actually, I'm going to put myself where I was before I was able to really sit and meditate. So it's a big barrier just to sit and meditate. Like that alone keeps people blocked from even trying. And you don't have to sit to get into point consciousness. You don't have to sit and meditate. You could be out surfing. You could be out doing art. You could be singing. It just depends on where can you let go of yourself and get lost in the moment. I'm going to focus on the most common, and this is the stage of meditation or healing or out-of-body experiences or remote viewing that you need to get into so you can clear your mind, and when there's no activity, just pure awareness, and then you bring your conscious mind back online. Well, it never went offline, but it feels like you're bringing it back online to then do something from a clean slate without trying to filter it through all the other human stuff going on. Eventually, you don't need to do this. You can parallel process or triple process. You can be, I could sit at work and I could be doing healing for someone asking for it, or I could be I'm often at work pulling information to look at probable futures of what might be happening. I'm not the only one that does this. Everyone is doing this to some degree. You're looking into the future, you're running probabilities, and then you're deciding, okay, this is the best path. That's why it's so fun. That's why I like talking about this, because there will be many of you that come across it and go, I do that all the time. Yes, you do. But it's still fun to explain how to get into the state so it can be familiar. So point consciousness is where you're floating, the experience of floating in a void as nothing but pure awareness. I'm going to try to do some of the thoughts, but then also some of the bodily sensations. So how do you get there? First, you have to want to. You have to be interested. Have a seat. Sit down or lay down. If you fall asleep a lot, prop yourself up or make yourself a little uncomfortable so you don't fall asleep. Be a little cold. Don't get all cozy like you're going to bed, because you'll fall asleep. So a little uncomfortable is good. You want to stay awake. You'll use any discomfort as a focus to keep you alert so that you don't fall asleep. So your body, because our bodies naturally, when we start to turn all of our senses off, we've been trained and we've associated turning off all of our senses with going to sleep. So this is a expanded awareness state where you are not associated to your body, and you learn to be fully alert and aware as consciousness, your consciousness, without needing this body always doing stuff to keep you alert. If I'm not intentionally doing it, if I sit still or someone puts on a movie or a TV show, there's a good chance that I'm going to fall asleep. I'm just sitting still. It's normal. So you sit down in your meditation state, you close your eyes, and the mind is probably racing around doing stuff. Just does not want to sit, doesn't like it, it's bored, there's nothing to do. So the mind is noticing, so it's all about noticing, just like every other meditation practice. Noticing the thoughts is the practice first, to unhook from the thought habits, the thought addictions, noticing the thoughts. You don't need to do them. You can do mantra. You can do all sorts of stuff. Everyone's got processes. I'm offering whatever they are, the process will be this, just whatever interesting, whatever catches your mind's interest. If it's a mantra, do that. If it's binaural beats, do that. Whatever gets you interested. The process then is to witness whatever's happening, to notice the thought, and that you are not the thought. You are the awareness of the thought. And that is probably the essence of the process for getting into point consciousness, becoming aware of your thoughts. It starts to build a metaphor or a model in your awareness. It teaches you, say physically, but it viscerally teaches you there's I am my thoughts. Whatever is happening, I am my thoughts. My body is reacting. My body's active. I have to do something. And then there's I'm having a thought. I see that thought. The easy ones are like a thought about tomorrow that I'm not attached to. The hard ones are my body's uncomfortable. I'm very attached to that, and I need to run from discomfort. So there's a spectrum of becoming aware of those thoughts and not acting on them and not processing them. The act of not processing, first, it's just not reacting. Not, I want to move my arm. I'm not going to move my arm. I want to sneeze. I'm not going to sneeze. I have a major itch on my nose. I'm not going to scratch the itch. That, each time you overcome one of those needs to move, to wiggle, to scratch, every time, every one of those you overcome, you move further with your intent into the perspective of your consciousness, and that is the entire cycle for getting to point consciousness. That is the practice, and it will only take 10 seconds, a minute, eventually. In the beginning, you might wrestle for 15, 30 minutes to get to some reasonable stage of, oh, that was different. Interesting. As I let the feeling go, my body got a little lighter. It felt a little more loose, like I'm a cloud. I think that's going to be most people's experience, is your body becomes like a cloud. Everything starts to feel like it's lifting up. So the beginning is just to be able to sit in the first place is the process of just witnessing and realizing we are not our thoughts. Every time you do that, you can even visualize like a percentage meter. The more you do that, the more percentage you shift from your waking life that needs constant distraction and entertainment and to soothe anything that's uncomfortable. Any thought, any feeling, I have to fix it. You shift from that into a witnessing of, oh, my body's just chilling. There's nothing going on. I don't need to do anything. I'm safe. My body's relaxed. But I'm still aware. And this process is what gets us familiar with existing as we call it a point of consciousness floating in a void. That is the process of getting to point consciousness. There will be lots of challenges that come up to distract you. And those challenges are mostly us running into ourselves and our normal daily behaviors, the things we're doing all the time. Now we've taken some time to settle in and create space to observe ourselves. And all those things we normally do are what are going to keep us out of point consciousness. So this practice is to say, nope, I'm not going to process that. I see it. I see the feeling. I experience the feeling. I see it. Not responding to it. And I'm going to relax deeper and deeper into this space. Why hypnosis works is why there's so many practices. They all work because our intent is to associate into our consciousness and not be pressed up against the glass with all of our five senses, like on edge all the time, drinking coffee, eating sugar, watching media, on social media, like just this intense bombardment of our sensations 24/7. This is the opposite, and it will be a little disorienting, and disorienting can often lead to discomfort and lead to fear. So it's also a process of facing our discomfort, facing our fear, and there's no rush, commit, you got to commit. It's like anything else. If you want to go develop a capability, like getting to point consciousness, just like if you want to go run a marathon, you're going to have to go put in time. There's no way about it. Some people just have the ability. I put in a lot of time as well. So even though I had the awareness of it, I still put in many hours. I would spend, so I spent 2 to 4 hours every single night for probably 10 years. So you don't have to do that, but to be transparent, that's what I did. And I would settle in and I would try tons of different activities, not to get to point consciousness, but in all my exploration, that's what it took. It's like you want to go to Thailand and you want to understand the Thai culture. You can't go visit the Thai culture for 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 1 hour and then think you understand the Thai culture. That's not how this works. You don't have an experience for 15 minutes. It may be amazing. It may be awesome. It could blow your mind, but that doesn't teach you much about what's actually going on. So if you really believe that it's real and you know it's there and you're curious, you have to develop an ability to consciously connect with it and then start exploring in your own way, with your own mind and your own imagination and your own feelings. And it'll be the best adventure that you've ever gone on that no one ever told you about. Unless you're watching a video like this and I'm telling you, this is the doorway. So point consciousness, you'll get uncomfortable, not sure what's going to happen. I'm a little afraid. I'm having feelings. I don't like this. I'm bored. The only thing we're doing is becoming aware of the thought and the feeling, just becoming aware and then noticing, watching the process of, when I have a thought and then I have a feeling, that's my process of working on it, like using it, like interacting with it. That's the normal process. I have a thought, I have a feeling, I do something. That's normal. This is witnessing that and stopping it. Nope, had a thought. That's all that's going to happen. No more feelings, no more actions, just thought. And it might get a little further. Oh, now I'm having a feeling. That's okay. That's okay. I'm noticing I'm having a feeling. I'm going to step back within myself, letting that go, and then it'll pass. They'll all pass. Like this is a process that is, thousands and thousands of years old. The process will pass and you'll be there. I love the Dune. It's the fear mantra, the Bene Gesserit mantra of, oh my God, I shouldn't have even mentioned this because now I can't remember it. It's, I will see the fear and I won't react, and the fear will pass through me and only I will remain. I apologize. That's not correct at all, but it's not getting access to it. But that's what this is. It's the fear mantra in the Dune books. It's you witness it, you don't react, and you're still there, even though it felt like you should run away. And then once you're able to do this and hold that state for an hour, 4 hours, an hour for most people will tell you you've got it. And now once you can do an hour, you could do 2 hours, you could do 3, you could do 4. I think 4 or 5 is like I don't think I've ever been out for like 5 to 8 hours. It's usually 4 or 5. And I'm like, okay, that's enough. I feel complete. I'm going to go to bed, or I'm going to go do something else. And you can pick it up the next night, the next day, pick it up and go back to work, whatever you were doing. So that's point consciousness. If you have questions, I will be happy to answer. This is the gateway to all the non-physical activities: remote viewing, healing, out-of-body experiences, not exactly like lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming has a different entry point through sleep, and you wake up in your dream. This is, you're doing it straight from waking life. The more Buddhist traditions will call this the direct path, just going inward with no other processing of information. You're just going directly into your consciousness. You're actually stopping doing the human thing. You're stopping all the processing of human information. And by stopping the processing and staying alert, you naturally become your consciousness. And there's no great language for it from the physical, because it's not a physical thing. So any other language starts to become metaphor, which is all biased based on who I am and how I talk about metaphors. But there's a lot of common ones we can talk about. So you stop the human thing, stop doing. That's probably like the best way to think of meditation, is you stop doing. So you're doing, stop doing. And that's part of even just thinking about that, like hold that in your awareness to get into a meditative state. My goal, I'm going to do, my action is to stop acting. And just reflect on that for a bit. How do you stop being who you are, or who you think you are, so you can become who you actually are? Okay, hope that was helpful. Ask questions, post if you got. Yeah. I'll see you next time.